بنرحب فيكم مشاهدينا بحلقتنا لليوم من برنامجنا قضايا تربوية. طبعا أكيد مثل ما عودناكم الكثير من المواضيع المهمة التي تهم جميع طلابنا والتربويين نناقشها في هذا البرنامج بهدف الوصول مع خبرة ضيوفنا إلى الحلول المثلى لكل عقبة أو مشكلة قد تواجه البعض من طلابنا الأعزاء أو حتى من أهاليهم. إذا نحن نرحب بكم دائما على الفضائية التربوية السورية. سنبدأ مباشرة مشاهدينا، ولكن بعد هذا الفاصل السريع ابقوا معنا. إذا مشاهدينا، مصطلح الذكاء الاصطناعي قد أصبح جديدا يتداوله الكثير من الجهات والمؤسسات التربوية المعنية بهذا الموضوع، فيعد إتقان أساليب الدراسة بشكل جيد أمرا مهما للغاية لتحقيق أكبر قدر من الاستفادة من معارفنا ومهاراتنا. ولهذا السبب علينا معرفة هذه التقنيات التي تقودنا إلى تملك مهارات الذكاء الاصطناعي، وأيضا الاستراتيجيات التي تساعدنا على تحقيق أكبر استفادة ممكنة من ساعات الدراسة بمساعدة هذه الوسائل المعتمدة على الذكاء الاصطناعي. ولا يخفى على أحد أن تقنيات التعلم والتفوق هي مجموعة من الأدوات، وهذه التقنيات التي تساعد الأفراد على تعلم المهارات بشكل أكثر فعالية وتحقيق أقصى قدر من الإنتاجية وأيضا التفوق. إذا إن مصطلح الذكاء الاصطناعي أصبح متداولا وله الكثير من الفوائد على أرض الواقع فيما يمس مصلحة طلبتنا بشكل خاص، ولهذا بدأت هناك الكثير من الجهات المعنية مشاهدين بالاهتمام بهذا المصطلح وبهذه الأمور المتعلقة بالذكاء الاصطناعي نتاج عمل لهذه الوسائل والتقنيات التي تساعد الأفراد على تحسين قدراتهم وتطوير مهاراتهم وتحقيق أهدافهم بشكل أكثر فعالية. إذا اليوم أنوه بأنه قد بدأت فعاليات المؤتمر الدولي العربي الأول للذكاء الاصطناعي المنعقد في تونس وبمشاركة افتراضية لوزارة التربية في الجمهورية العربية السورية، حيث ألقى السيد وزير التربية الدكتور دارم طباع كلمة بالجلسة الافتتاحية. وكان هناك تهنئة لسوريا بعودتها للجامعة العربية، وأيضا كان هناك ترحيبا واسعا بمشاركتها بمؤتمر تونس الأول خلينا نقول للذكاء الاصطناعي. إذا مشاهدين، نحن اليوم سوف نتحدث حول هذه المواضيع ربطا مع تقنيات التفوق والدراسة الفعالة وخاصة في المواد العلمية، ونستفيد من خبرة ضيفينا. يسعدني أن أرحب بضيوفي الأستاذ عمار قدوري، حضرتك مدرس رياضيات، أهلا وسهلا بحضرتك.
أهلا وسهلا، أهلا وسهلا بك.
الترحيب أيضا موصول بالأستاذ طارق البوش، حضرتك مدرس فيزياء، أهلا وسهلا بحضرتكم.
أهلا وسهلا أستاذ أحمد.
نحن اليوم إذا مشاهدينا بصرنا أن نتواصل مع بعضنا البعض عبر الأرقام التي تظهر على الشريط التفاعلي بأسفل الشاشة، وأيضا يمكن أن نتواصل عبر التعليقات على صفحة الفضائية التربوية السورية. طبعا سنتابع إذن الكثير من هذه الأمور الخاصة، حيث كما نلاحظ بأن المؤتمر قد بدأ في الجلسة التابعة لهذه الجلسات المنعقدة. طبعا مشاهدينا، الكثير من الأمور المتعلقة بهذا المؤتمر سوف نربطها مع المفاهيم التي كنا سنتحدث حولها في حلقتنا لهذا اليوم من قضايا تربوية. اليوم أستاذ عمار، إذا بدي أبدأ من عندك، نحن لماذا بحاجة لتملك تقنيات تجعلنا أن نكون قادرين على التفوق بصورة سهلة وسلسة وخاصة في المادة العلمية؟
العلم يتطور باستمرار والتطور سريع جدا، لذلك نحن يجب أن نواكب هذا العلم ويجب أن نواكب هذا التطور. ومعظم التقنيات الحديثة قد دخلت إلى كل بيت، إلى كل ميادين الحياة، وأصبحت جزء لا يتجزأ من هذا البيت أو من هذا المؤسسة. وبالتالي شيء طبيعي انه موضوع التربية والتعليم بياخذ قسم اكبر من موضوع تطوير الادوات، تطوير الوسائل، تطوير الاستراتيجيات في التعليم، في موضوع التعليم عن بعد، موضوع التعليم الافتراضي، موضوع التعليم بوسائل متطورة جدا، يعني هو في غاية الشرح أكثر،
نعم.
في غاية توصيل المعلومة أكثر والأفضل.
تماما. إذا لابد من وجود هذه المهارات، ولكن أستاذ طارق، متى يجب على الطالب أن يتملك هذه المهارات؟ هل هناك فترة محددة زمنية ترتبط بمدى نضجه العلمي والمعرفي والعقلي، أم أنه يجب أن يتم تعويده عليها بدءا من سن مبكرة ربما، أو حتى من المرحلة الأولى في مراحل التعليم المختلفة؟
طبعا أستاذ أحمد، الكل بيعرف أنه التقنيات الحديثة والأجهزة الإلكترونية الحديثة صارت بمتناول الأطفال. يعني عم لاقي طفل صغير عم يستخدم أحدث الأجهزة بكل مهارة وبراعة أكثر أحيانا من أهله. بس الموضوع بيتطلب أنه مراقبة من الأهل، مراقبة من الأسرة التربوية. بيتطلب الموضوع أنه نحن نوجه الطفل لاستخدام هاي التقنيات بشكل صح. بالعكس، كل ما كان العمر أبكر بتنمية المهارات، لأنه بيكون
نعم.
الطفل جاهز أكثر
صحيح.
لاستقبال هاي المهارات ولاستقبال هاي التقنيات. فبالعكس بعمر صغير بيكون أفضل لحتى ينمو صح وينمو
تماماً.
دماغه صح عليها، ويتعلم الصح من الغلط فيها، لأنه هي سلاح ذو حدين، ممكن يستخدمها بطريقة صح وممكن يستخدمها بطريقة غلط.
أستاذ طارق، يعني اليوم معناتها نحن بأمس الحاجة لنكون نحن رديفين لطلابنا لأبنائنا لحتى يتملكوا هذه الوسائل والتقنيات عن طريق ربما وسائل معينة ومختلفة. سنتحدث أكيد يعني مشاهدينا في هذه النقاط، ولكن الآن ننتقل بكم مباشرة لمتابعة مجريات المؤتمر الدولي العربي الأول للذكاء الاصطناعي المنعقد في تونس وبمشاركة افتراضية لوزارة التربية في الجمهورية العربية السورية. نتابع معا مشاهدينا.
أوروبا والشرق الأوسط وشمال إفريقيا. Now I have the pleasure to give the floor to Luigi for the first presentation of this panel.
All right, let me share my screen.
إذن ما زالت مجريات المؤتمر العربي الدولي الأول للذكاء الاصطناعي، ونحن نتابع أيضا عبر الإنترنت، عبر الشبكة طبعا، وقائع ومجريات هذا المؤتمر. لذلك اعذرونا مشاهدينا إذا كان هناك تقطعات تكون خارجة عن إرادتنا، كوننا نتابع عبر الشبكة مجريات هذا المؤتمر. سنعود بين الفين والأخرى ونتابع إذن عرض تقديمي الآن لهذا المؤتمر وهذه المجريات التي تحدث الآن كما ذكرت في تونس.
Educators, students, decision makers globally with development of solutions that are supporting resilient education systems. In particular, we are looking at how we can support the right device for learning and teaching, drive secure and reliable technology that has a long-term usage. And for that, we have the technology supported by skill building initiatives, and I'll go a little bit deeper around skills for innovation. All of that is supported also by our corporate social responsibility activities, looking at driving responsible, inclusive, sustainable, enabling technology that is providing a positive impact on technology that is at the end enriching the lives of the kids. And all of that is only possible with our broad ecosystem of partners. We have more than 170 partners globally that are supporting us on the education world today. Now, let me give you some insights about why skills building is extremely important nowadays, right? And in particular, artificial intelligence is on top of the list. Here you can see one of the most recent reports from the World Economic Forum that is showing that by 2027, there will be 83 million jobs that will disappear. And these are more of the traditional jobs, if you look at the details, while only 69 million new jobs will be generated and created. And if you look closer here, some of these new roles that will come on board are roles like AI and machine learning specialists, or data analyst, or sustainability specialist. These are all jobs that are almost not existing today, and where kids need to acquire a new set of skill sets and mindsets like analytical thinking, creative thinking, collaboration, social emotional skills are also extremely important in order to be able to cope in the workforce of the future. Now, let's come to Intel Skills for Innovation, right? So that's our vision program that's supporting teachers in their learning experiences through the integration of technology. And for that, we have created a framework that is kind of responding to the skills gap we have seen on the previous slides. And here we are focusing on 7 essential skill sets and mindsets like social emotional intelligence, or mindsets like design thinking, computational thinking, hard-coded skill sets like programming, coding, modeling, simulation, and in particular, artificial intelligence. As we know, artificial intelligence is going to be a critical skill set for the jobs of the future. It will change the requirements that we're seeing on the workforce tomorrow, and nearly all future jobs will be augmented by some AI application in the future. So looking at the program today, we have rolled out the initiative in more than 47 countries, and over 20,000 teachers have already been involved with the content. And when we go and talk to ministries of education, they immediately realize the benefits and the need of such a training for the teachers and these skills-oriented learning experiences for their students. So we are seeing a very strong adoption since we launched the program a couple of years ago, and we are planning to scale the program even further in the upcoming years. We have also big plans to scale across the Arabic region and with Arabic language as well. Now, the program is divided in 2 main parts. The first one is our Skills for Innovation Professional Development Suite, which is our teacher training supporting the vision. We have partnered with several providers of hardware, software, and applications and content publishers in order to enable these trainings. And we have 18 courses and over 80 hours of self-learning, e-learning content that is available for the teachers to build their skills and to help them modify the existing lessons using and integrating technology. The course is free to use. It is divided in 4 levels of professional development, where teachers can start wherever they are on their technology adoption journey, right? So level 1 would be for starters, where you have the opportunity to start using technology, how to use video conferencing, how to use a document, and then you go into more the application of technology, how you integrate technology into the daily lessons plans and make it more interactive. And here within the professional development suite, we have also modules that are focusing on how to best integrate artificial intelligence to generate new ways of driving the lessons, how to engage with the content. And we are providing the teachers with some new experiences that they can bring into the school environment with step-by-step guidance for how to best integrate artificial intelligence into the curriculum. The second element of the Skills for Innovation framework is our starter packs. These are 2 hours lessons plans. We have 70 of them on the platform, and they cover all different K-12 grades and all the different subjects and topics, starting from English, literature, to geography, social studies, and all the STEM topics. So here you have a full range of courses that teachers can start integrating into their daily activities. Each courses comes with a teacher guide and with a dedicated lessons plan that teachers can integrate into the lessons plan and curricula day by day. And same here, we have out of the 70 starter packs, we have 19 starter packs that include AI dedicated activities across all age groups, and where teachers and students can experiment AI in real world situations, right? Really have hands-on experiences, also using some of the most common programs like Python, Scratch, and so on, in order to create more impact and engagement with the kids during the lesson sprints. So with that, I really invite you all to visit our skillsforinnovation.intel.com website. Here on the landing page, you will be able to find all the resources and brochures explaining the content and what is the main reason for addressing this skills gap. And you can also register with the MISFI code from Mario's organization, where you would be able to access all the teaching resources and the starter packs in order to drive the course. So that's it from my side about Skills for Innovation. Over to you, Marco.
Thank you very much, Luigi, for the presentation to contextualize this in job creation and also to give some practical inputs to the story, to the narrative, and where the teachers can find immediately examples of how to start. And I would like to highlight the fact then, as was mentioned this morning by UNESCO, the vision you present in the context of AI in a holistic view of education policy, and not AI separate from other aspects of education and teacher training. Thank you very much for that and for the presentation. I go to give the floor now to Mark Sainz, and if we have time, I hope we have some discussion after the two presentations. Hola, Mark. Gracias por la presentación y te invito a hablar. Thank you very much. Please, I give the floor to Mark.
Ciao, Franco. Assalamu alaikum. I see you speak every language, Mario.
We are neighbors of Spain.
Absolutely, absolutely. My Italian is not too bad either, so we can chat there as well. The few words I know are from your not so distant neighbors, Lebanon. So I'll ask the audience, Kif Kun. Hopefully that is understood. I can't hear the audience, but I hope Ahlan or the good are the answers to that. I wonder, can you see my presentation now? Is this showing?
Yes.
Perfect. So I'll continue.
Yes.
I think it's very easy to overtalk. I'm honored to be invited to this incredible event. I wanted to kind of draw a little bit perhaps on AI for education, what is happening, since this is one of the main questions I hear from Google, or that people want to hear from Google. I'm glad I didn't show my normal presentation, Luigi, because there's a lot of overlap and we align a lot on how the job market is changing and how do we need to prepare for that. So I feel like we've been greatly complementary there. In terms of AI, I think it's clear that it will impact our lives today, and therefore it has to impact, or it has an opportunity to impact the way we teach and how students learn in the future as a contraposition to teaching, right? Because we frequently talk about teaching. Even when we talk about learning, we frequently talk about teaching, which is what the teacher does in the classroom. But it's very important to differentiate on how does the learning journey happens, because more and more this is happening independently from teaching. Teaching and learning is moving a lot to the students' hands. We see a massive rise on informal learning, on Gen Z not wanting to go to university, learning how to code or about AI or any other topic by their own. So it's actually really interesting to decouple those two things and understand how AI specifically will affect both of those. Like sharing those two definitions at the beginning, because I think they're very easy to confuse and mix both of them. We have a very simplistic the definition of AI, which is the science of making things smart or intelligent. Well, machine learning is a technique used to develop AI. I'll give you some examples of that. I won't do this demo for the sake of time, but if you want to take a photo, this is a very fun game that we've had for a few years at Google. It's called quickdraw.withgoogle.com. Take any pictures you want. All the slides are public and not confidential. It's very fun how you can see how it gives you a quiz or a prompt to draw something, and as you draw it, the machine learning and AI are trying to identify how it works. This interestingly feeds into the machine learning mechanism of us understanding better how people draw different things and therefore get better at it, and this we can apply in other products. This is a fun game for schools as well right now, and it's a good way of showing how machine learning works in the classroom in a very pragmatic way. So how our AI impacts our lives today? It helps us avoid spam. Google's been using it for about 7 or 8 years very intensely, and that's why Gmail is one of the best or the most prominent email providers in the world. It helps us finish sentences. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this functionality in Gmail where it completes sentences for you. That is all driven by AI behind the scenes. It helps us preserve memories. For example, in Google Photos, you can actually search. Some people don't know that, so that this tip usually is a lot of people thank me for it later. You can actually look for things. You can look for a sunset, or for cars, or for a beach, or for dogs. Here's, for example, a search in one of my colleagues' photo albums where he looks for dogs, and he shows every photo, but also every video where dogs show up. That is, I think, a remarkable way of searching through memories and what is undoubtedly a very, very long list of photos that we all have. So it's an AI-driven revolution. We've seen others before. Right? I know you guys know that, right? From steam, electricity, information technology. We think artificial intelligence could be bigger than steam in many ways, because it'll just so cross-laterally and transversely affect everything we do. We don't even know where it's gonna take us, or what questions will it pose. That's why one of the reasons we really need to do it as responsibly as possible as well. It's important, a little bit on the journey. I won't go through every one of the steps, but in 2015, actually before 2015, Google became an AI-first company. I know it's become very prevalent in the media in the last few months because of ChatGPT. I think, that ChatGPT is a great use of large language model. So it's BART, which is our own product on that line. But I think the most impactful way of using AI might not actually be from large language models, but it'd be from powering all the systems we have behind the scenes and every technology we use today. So a little bit more about education, going back to education. How will AI impact the way we teach? In my original presentation here, I have about 25 slides on examples of this. I am not going to present 25 slides, don't worry. I just thought I'd share a couple that I think are interesting. This is one of the ones I am most proud of, is around what we call remediation and actually teaching in the moment, right? We know in education, for example, that if you give feedback to a student the moment they need it, the moment, this exact second they've done something wrong, the pedagogical impact of that is dramatically bigger than if you give feedback on that, even 30 minutes later or next week when they get back the assignment. So that's why, we've developed a product called Practice Sets, where the students can, work on their exercises. And I'll put the virtual laser point, so they can work on the exercises here. And if they get it wrong and they see that X over there, then immediately the tool in Classroom will show them specific feedback for that exercise, because it understands through AI and our neuroscience and pedagogical work behind the scenes what kind of exercises this is, how do you need to solve it, and what has the student done wrong. From a teacher perspective, which is very important, they'll get insights of how many attempts every student has done, what is the work they've done, and how to improve for the classroom as well. So things like, this is a little bit more of a demo. You see that when the student gets it wrong, it actually shows a video of how to do that exercise. I'll do the multiplication, not the exact one, because they have to do it themselves. This is a tool that a lot of people might not know, but I'm really happy to say that this is available in Arabic today. Read Along is a speech-based reading tutor that helps her basically how to speak a language. I think, Luigi, maybe you and I have to follow Mario's work here and Mario's clearly inspiration and learn some Arabic for our next presentation. And this is actually, we've done some research behind it, and it launched already in 2020 in 9 languages, including Arabic, which I'm very, very, very proud to say. And this is being integrated in classroom as well as part of solutions in education. And I won't go through the data, but as a teacher, you can use this as a very engaging AI-driven way of learning a language. And this actually helps a lot with immigration, which I know all the Arab nations have an incredible amount of immigration because of the work and the economy is going. Same as Spain, right? We have a lot of immigration, and integration and language learning has been a very important piece of the culturalization. This is the student's experience where it's gamified. You can see the start when they say something right. They actually speak the words, and the AI speech to text can recognize if they pronounce correctly. It's actually really fun. I encourage you to try with your kids. Read Along. You can find it on Android. I think on iPhone as well. I'm not sure. Another thing we work on is originality reports. This has gathered a lot more importance with AI as well, and understanding whether there's plagiarism. You can detect peer plagiarism as well. So students at a university can see whether the work that a student has delivered is original, both from the internet and also from other students, whether they've copied it. I think that is a very useful tool for the teachers. And again, another example where there's a lot of AI behind this, and it's kind of invisible as technology should be when it's good and when it's well implemented. I'd like to finish saying again, this is a very, very core part of how we're trying to approach AI. We can do a lot of things, and a lot of things could be done, but it's very important to do it from a responsible way. So AI comes with its own set of unique challenges. At Google, we're integrating AI with our products boldly, but with a deep sense of responsibility and high standards of information integrity with our AI principles. So I run education, research, and tools, product and use case reviews, and responsible AI efforts. I won't go into detail. We have a lot more of that in our websites. But essentially, we're trying to integrate technology seamlessly into the teaching and learning experience. Again, seamlessly being invisible, just very useful. Not just a new app that is very shiny and does a lot of funny things. And the goal, of course, is that we'll create a future in which learning is personal, right? Personalization is, in my opinion, the biggest goal of technology in the classroom. It's flexible and accessible. And honestly, it saves teachers a lot of time, because all our research shows that one of the best things technology can do for teachers is save them time. So with that, I'll stop. Hopefully I've been as succinct as I could be. And I think maybe questions are a useful way of continuing. If Mario, if you think that's appropriate.
Thank you, Mark, for the presentation and to be so focused in good examples, and special for the global message, how you care about the responsible of the algorithms, and also how the message to save time to the teachers. I think this is very important, because as we see all together, I think this technology, like other technologies, they are a support for the human purpose and the support for the human activity. Then if we use the technologies, as you mentioned, to support the work of the teachers, I think we will have a better education in the future and now. Then we are not over time, but the program is over time. Then I think, because you were so focused, both of you, we can make one question to each, and after we will conclude our panel to help the organization to keep the time of the event, as the director was told me. Then first, if you want to add any comment from other presentation or anything else, please do it. I will make only one question for each. Then, Luigi, in your opinion, will Intel or other technology companies, from your experience, are working in solutions beyond the SFI in solutions to support education with AI tools, hardware, software, concepts. What is your vision for the coming, let's say, 12 months beyond SFI? What can we expect in general? And how you see, in your personal opinion, the impact of AI in the coming 2 or 3 years in education?
Well, thank you, Mario. I think AI will be extremely disruptive for education, and we are already starting to see that with the advent of ChatGPT, right? In particular, this has completely revolutionized the way education is looking at artificial intelligence. Our business is looking at artificial intelligence, and students need to be ready for this big change. From an Intel point of view, and also working with our industry partners, I think the key on the education segment, as also Mark was mentioning, is to provide a personalized learning path, right? And we can do that with software, we can do that with hardware, we can do that with content that is helping us to manage the experience, right? So there are a lot of very successful learning management systems that are helping us to provide adaptive feedback to the kids, or also providing some tutoring systems, right, where the teachers are able to analyze the student data, they are able to analyze the behaviors, they can identify the strengths, the weaknesses, and then with that tailor the instruction to the needs of the students and provide real-time support. I believe that technology, Intel with its partners like Google and others, can really create an environment where kids can strive in this new environment, and teachers are able to help them promote more engagement, promote more active learning, and a deeper understanding of what they're learning on a day-to-day.
Thank you, Luigi. I go to make another final question to Mark. And Mark, if you want to add any comment, please feel free. Considering Google and your long experience and impact in searching and researching, because we go all to Google, how you see in the coming months and maybe 1 or 2 years, how will Google value can help in a new way? If there, I don't want you to disclose any kind of information, but just a glimpse of your vision, how this can evolve. And because your responsibilities related to the region, what is your main challenge or driver, and what the region should do to take advantage of the programs you are planned to launch for the region? Please feel free to tackle the point you consider more important. Thank you. You are muted, Mark.
Sorry, after 3 years of COVID, one would think I would remember to unmute. Thanks, Mario. I think if you give me 1.5 hours, I would still not have enough time to answer that, but I'll try to be as succinct again as possible. Listen, I think in Google, we're not changing our approach. We haven't changed our approach in the short term. Since 2015, the company's been an AI first company, which means that we've always tried to bring the best of AI we could, and people know that we're pioneers in the subject, to all of our products. Specific to learning, we're doing a lot though. The roadmap has been accelerated in the last year or so, and I think things like read along and practice sets have been brewing for the last 3 years. Now we're seeing this first tip of the iceberg of it. I'm going to be very direct, because after these kind of events, my job is to actually I'm not a public speaker, right? I go and sit down with, I am sure there's some, governments and ministers of education in the room. I go and sit with you and we try to make a project happen. So I want to be useful with that goal in mind. So very pragmatic. Mm-hmm. When I'm sitting down with a lot of the countries in the Arab world, which are my region, as Mario was introducing before. The most useful thing that we can see to be able to support your programs, it's a strong digitalization program, because we can talk about AI all we want. But as I was reminding a country just 2 weeks ago when I was there physically, I won't say what country, of course, technology doesn't work on paper. Like AI doesn't work on a paper, right? So if there's not a good connectivity at a school level, if there's not a significant device to student penetration program, and it doesn't have to be 1-to-1. We know it doesn't have to be. It can be 1-to-10. We've done programs 1-to-20. It has a positive impact if done correctly. But if we don't have the connectivity and we don't have a constant, recurring, yearly access to easy access to technology for teachers, we can't build on top of that. So that is the foundational. I know it might not sound as sexy or as interesting as some of the more AI-driven, apps out there, but that is, and we can help with that. And Intel definitely can help with that. Intel has with a lot of resources with this. I was just telling Luigi, they have a little bit of research on what the best device for every stage of a school is. I recommend checking that as well. I rely on Intel research. I think we're all together here for the same purpose. But yeah, a good foundation, a good digitization foundation is what we can build on top. And I think that's what we should all be focused on doing before we actually implement more AI.
Okay, thank you, Mark. I think was very good ending of the conversation, because our organization is partner of Alexo, and I want to conclude with that before I send the word to my friend Professor Gemini. And we launched an initiative last September in the United Nations in New York, and exactly in that line, it is focused on the foundational we look for 1-to-1 infrastructure for education. We believe that's necessary to have a very strong digital infrastructure. Everybody have to have access to a digital device, to a computer device, and also to have all the tools, even to collect data, even if the purpose is to manage the system. It's important to have data. Then the way how you put it, I fully follow that line, and we have discussed with Luigi before, and I think we are all in that line. Then it is a good way to end. I want to thank Luigi and Mark for the great presentations and the very focused one. I want to thank Alexo to take this initiative. Alexo is always leading the discussion, not only in the Arab world, but some discussions start in the Arab world. That's one of the main reasons why I'm learning Arabic, because I'm not only learning Arabic, but also learning from the Arabs when they speak in Arabic, a lot of things. And this is a great language, a great culture. Thank you, Professor Gemini, for your leadership. Thank you, Alexo. Thank you, Professor Amr. And this is our contribution for this debate. Thank you very much.
Shukran, everyone.
Shukran jazilan. Ma salama ila lika.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mario. Let me at the beginning to thank the two speakers, Luigi Casina from Intel and Mark Sanlopez from Google, for their excellent presentations. We have already a partnership and cooperation with Intel, and thanks to this partnership with Millennium and with GPE and with Intel, we have already given many thousands of devices to many countries, especially in the period of COVID-19, for example, for Comoros, for Djibouti, for Mauritania, and recently for Lebanon. So thank you.
In Comoros, my friend.
And Comoros, yeah, my dear friend. Okay, yes, I forget also Comoros. We give them thousands of devices. So thank you, Intel, for this fruitful partnership. Also with Google, I already met colleagues from Google Dubai a few weeks ago, and we agreed to initiate a very interesting partnership and program, especially for training Arab youth and this new jobs like content developers, YouTubers, and this new promising new jobs. Mario, Professor, His Excellency Professor Mohammed Al joined us. So unfortunately, he missed your speech in Arabic, but I think he knows already your skills in Arabic. Maybe a few words for Tusami Mario.
مريم السلام عليكم، كيف حالك؟ نتكلم باللغة العربية؟
نعم. السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم سيد عمرو، أستاذ دكتور عمرو، شكرا جزيلا.
وشكرا جزيلا لك مريم، وإن شاء الله ننتظرك في تونس قريبا إن شاء الله.
Okay, so
شكرا جزيلا.
إن شاء الله. إن شاء الله. شكرا جزيلا.
invited you to visit us in Tunis. So at the end of this very interesting session, I would like to thank a lot our friend and our partner, Mario Franco, for his excellent session and for his excellent sharing the session, and again the two speakers for their excellent presentation. Now we will go directly to the next session. It's very interesting session. I will switch in Arabic now. نمر الآن إذا الجلسة القادمة الموالية، جلسة يعني مهمة ومنتظرة من العديد من المشاركين، وخاصة أبنائنا التلاميذ الذين أتوا خصيصا ليتحاوروا مع الرئيس المدير العام للشركة الصينية، وهي روبوت إن شاء الله يكرمكم. ولكن قبل ذلك عندنا مداخلة، يعني دائما سنبقى في الصين، مداخلة رئيسية للبروفيسور روباي وانغ، وهو مدير معهد التعلم الذكي ببكين، وكذلك هو الحائز على كرسي اليونسكو للذكاء الاصطناعي في التعليم. حصل مؤخرا على هذا الكرسي، وسيقدم محاضرة، وسيكون رئيس الجلسة البروفيسور دانيال بورغوس. Now I give the floor to Professor Daniel Burgos to share the session and to introduce and to invite his first speaker, Professor Ambayo. Professor Burgos, the floor is yours.
So, hello everyone. I hope that you are fine and you enjoy this new session. I thank Alexo again and Professor Gemini for this kind invitation and to share this moment with you. Now, in this session that we got of 45 minutes, the first guest and the main character of our talk today is Professor Huang from Beijing Normal University. I invite you please to come here. He's very skilled on artificial intelligence and education, where he recently had been appointed as a UNESCO chair on the topic, along with many other things in his life. He came with his effective team at the Smart Learning Environment, including Professor Lily and some of the colleagues. And I hope that he can give the speech in 15 minutes. Is that okay for you, Professor Huang? Is okay? Okay. So please take the floor and read. Thank you.
Your Majesty, Ahmed, Director General of Alexo, all friends, students, I'm very happy to be here to talk about AI and education. So today, why do we get here to talk about, to discuss AI AI and education, because we all of you see the opportunities of AI education, and also we can see the challenges and risks of education and the AI. So today I will show you some information about how we can learn and teach with AI. And I'm going to talk about the mechanism of human-machine collaboration in future education. And first, I want to show you two stories. The first story is ChatGPT. Everybody knows. So is ChatGPT Vega or self-guiding angels? It means how ChatGPT help us or the develop us. Actually, it's because we have just published a journal article. Actually, we trying to identify what ChatGPT will be used in school. Actually, our team, Professor Lee, and also to compare some situations in America, Turkey, Australia, and China happened before ChatGPT go to school. Actually, so first we try to see the information. Some people talk about the ChatGPT in social networking in Twitter, and then we have the same way for the students and the teachers. What happened? What's the situation? What's the risks for ChatGPT in their education, in the teaching and learning? And then we have some experience for some people to use to find the experience. Actually, we can send a lot of concerns that everybody know. Actually, for the cheating and getting away with it, and the accuracy of content, and also fairness, and the privacy, and the even manipulation of the person. So many issues will be faced. And also for our articles, we have some suggestions. One is to invest the technology within banded. The second, we need the new technology philosophy, I mean pedagogy, and we also need to develop human-led and responsible chatbot, even robots. That's the first story. The second one is how robots can work with us in teach and learn. Actually, we just published a book in recent years, how to influential articles, academic research ideas. We tend to select 100 influential academic articles of education robots, and also we try to find how education robots can be involved in teaching and learning. Actually, we are trying to pick up two kinds of robots. One is educational robots, it means using robots in teaching and learning. The other one is robots will help teach and learn. That's different issues. So we try to select the influential articles. One is the highest cited. The second one is the sensitive of some hot topics. The third one will be the age we're talking about. And then we select 100 influential articles, and we present 40 articles in our talk. Actually, we found 7 typical scenarios of educational robotics. The first one is present the tutelary student conventional discussion. The second one is roles in state education. Maybe you can know. Actually, Shanghai just get the report from the UNESCO. UNESCO category 1 center focused on state education will be located in Shanghai, China. Actually, it's very important. The second one is robotics oriented program, and the for example, languages, for global settings, for city people, and not easy. You can see a lot of typical issues, for example, robots in education. This kind of program, as some students may be trying to look to coding program. The second one is language learning is very useful, everybody know. And also the first one is teach robots in classroom for help teaching for students. And the fifth one, robot based education, especially for some people, for example, learning disorder, autism, and the different students how to use robots to help them. The second one is robot-based cognitive training for senior people. The last one is we talk about the risk and how we use intelligence. I think we can see the advantages. For example, personalized tutoring, adaptive learning, inspiring activity, and not advantage we can see. Also, we can see a lot of challenges at this moment. For example, cheating and algorithm and the incorrect and the wrong hands, and also privacy, data security, and other issues we need to come further. So this is two stories. If we use AI in the future, how to the similar technology such as ChatGPT to the 7 typical scenarios, maybe will be new advantages, new challenges, so new opportunities. That's the story. So now I'm trying to propose a new proposal how to working together to see sustainable artificial intelligent education, and we need to get it together. So we call ISDA initiative. So it means actually the concept of ISDA means intelligent human machine synergies in collaborative teaching. Digital twins, vendors, and robots. These 3 typical scenarios we can see. And also we try to find the roles of teaching and how to use it. That's the we are trying to do. So if we see the avatar physical robots and digital twins actually refer to different space. One is for the physical space we can use in agenta and the avatar. And the physical robots can be in cyberspace, and also digital twins will be real estate space. So maybe we can combine physical, social, and the digital space working together. So basically, actually, we are trying to promote a framework how to human-machine collaboration. We are trying to find the basic principles, ideas, how human teachers and students can cooperate with machine. The key common component and the basic fundamental technology will be in these 3 kind of scenarios of robots. So actually we are trying to propose some considerations, because I think as that data consideration, it including how to design, how to cases, practices, and assessment. For example, for the design, we need to know the data resources, models, and the algorithms. Actually, it means the data from Tunisia is not easy to change the model to China. It's quite a different data source. We must be careful. Also, it includes the different language. The same with the shape and appearance of development robots, maybe physical robots, maybe some a render in better ways, maybe some robots in the classroom, so it's quite different. And also we needed to collaborate with intelligence with brains. It means needed to gain the ideas and the principles and the experience from the teacher together. And for the ethics and practice and assessment is also very important. And how to make it can work as a second teacher. So it means human teachers and the robots, these twins and the vendors maybe will be different. For human teachers, designer, facilitator, intervener, educator, and it is made. But for machine, digital robots to analyze assistant, manipulator, learning, and tutoring maybe a lot of be involved in this kind of collaboration. And also we trying to find this is an example for special education. For example, for the learning result of students, it's not easy to be engaged in learning. That's the question. So we try to help students to special education for different examples. So we need to using new technology from learning, long-term tracking, how to in-home campaigns, and how to use LinkedIn and other issues. So this is just an example how to design. Here is a technical framework of human-machine collaboration teaching. Actually, it comes from the traditional ITS. Intelligent tutoring service is popular for many years. We just using the big model, simulation from ChatGPT to embed it in this model, and maybe in the future we can find more people to join us to provide data, algorithm, model, and the case studies where we can do this to share for all over the world. That's what we're trying to do. So next, I'm trying to call for partners for ISTAR global community. Actually, it's quite complicated issues and so many issues need to be done. So first is how to multidisciplinary research. We need to philosophy, education, psychology, technology, engineering, so many aspects. The second was the teaching and the education studies, and also enterprises, policy makers, and the international organizations. So we are trying to create a community and the co-partner join us. That's our proposal. Finally, the last, we are at the management. We have a global smart education conference actually for many times. Hope to join us and welcome to join us. Okay, that's it. Daniel? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Juan. Any question from the people participating in this interesting congress? Do you have any question? One question, too. That's it. Any question from the kids? Maybe you want to ask. Any question? I have one question. Oh, Mister, please. You can ask. Do you prefer a micro? Okay, thank you, Vila. Thank you so much. Short question, short answer, please.
ممكن باللغة العربية. مساء الخير جميعا.
Anyone can translate for us? Good, thank you.
بداية شكرا لمنظمي هذا اليوم الذي سافروا بنا في حول العالم لاكتشاف الانتليجنس ارتيفيسيال وتحديدا اشكر سي محمد جوني والسيد المدير العام لمنظمه لاليكسو سي محمد المدعمد. Donc ma question, l'intelligence artificielle maintenant, est-ce un ami, un concurrent ou bien vous comprenez?
Oui.
Ah, d'accord. Est-ce maintenant?
La question c'est pour le professeur Juan.
Exactement.
C'est mieux aussi.
Allez. Est-ce maintenant un ami, un concurrent ou bien peut-être un complément? La première question. نرجع للمربي في القسم. كنا احنا دائما عنده الخصوصيه بتاعه الانسانيه. لانه يتملك على الجانب العاطفي، الجانب الوجداني الى اخره. لكن ايضا هناك محاولات لهذا الروبوت لجعله يتملك كل ما هو عاطفه، كل ما هو احساس. ربما يوم من الايام سنجد ذلك المربي أيضا للرجوع وحامل لهذه الصفات الإنسانية. شكرا.
Thank you so much. Professor, did you get the second question?
Actually, I didn't get the. Actually, maybe I suggested talk about how to the role will be involved in the classroom, right? So we can see some cases that in China, for example, in rural area, we using some digital technology to help the teaching and learning in the rural areas, and also we can see robots in classroom for language learning, and they even help the teacher to organize group learning. We can see some case studies. Maybe in future, they will be very strong. Okay.
Okay. And do you think that artificial intelligence is a friend or a liability? How do you see that?
I guess maybe we can see the future, whether you use technology or use AI or not, is there. So as like we just said, the quick get will be for the information infrastructure, digital resources, teachings, and the basic use for the AI literacy will be very important. So everybody needs to embrace the AI technology. That's the message.
Thank you so much, Professor Juan. Now, later, maybe we have now, I keep you there, and now we will come back to the questions. Thank you so much. It's time now to get into the second part of this mini session, okay? And we will have a very special guest, which is a virtual CEO, okay? I think that everything will be ready. Technician people, are you ready there to introduce the CEO robot Tang Yu of NetDragon webshop? So, are you there, CEO? Can we start talking to the avatar? I think she's taking some virtual coffee. Hi, hello, how are you?
Right now? Quite fun.
A little louder is possible?
How about now?
It's okay.
Can you hear
Thank you
me?
for
Yes.
coming.
Wow, I'm so excited to meet you online.
Good. What is your name, please? How can introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Tang Yu, and I'm the CEO of NetDragon. I'm a digital human.
Okay, that's very nice. And what do you do in the company? What are your functions as our CEO?
Well, I'm the CEO of NetDragon. I have a lot of affairs. Externally, I stand as a spokesperson of our company promoting the Metaverse organization. And internally, I shoulder the responsibility of promoting AI management.
Okay, very nice. Second question. What are the plans of NetDragon about Metaverse and the future?
Well, in this year, we are doubling down our efforts on education metaverse, providing total solutions, home and abroad, striving to create a lifelong learning metaverse community for mankind. Well, as for me, I believe our research and development team will continue to expand on the algorithm and the language model behind me to build a more open, fair, interactive, and highly transparent model, which will enable us to attract a much broader base of talents all around the world and put us in a position to achieve long-term goals.
Very interesting. I have a request from Professor Gemini here. Do you speak Arabic?
Well, I'm learning that.
You're learning that, okay.
Yeah.
And I have a question from my own, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How can I trust you? You are not real. What are your feelings? What are your emotions? I cannot trust anyone without emotions. What can you tell me about that?
Mm-hmm. As you know, I'm a digital human born in the metaverse era. Actually, I don't have too much emotion as you human beings, but I'm trying to learn your humans' emotional feelings such as sadness or joy. I try to learn to understand and learn to express.
Thank you so much. Now we go into questions from the students. So who is raising a question now? 1 minute, please, and the question will come. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead. What is your name, please?
My name is Liz.
Okay, welcome. What is your question?
الذي وجد تشابه بينك وبين أن رجل في العالم إيلون ماسك.
Okay, any translation into English so our avatar can understand, and myself, of course.
Okay, I can. So basically, the first question was, what's the common sense between you and the richest man in the world, which is Elon Musk?
Could you please repeat your question? Just
Yes, what is your common points between you and the person richest in the world, which is named Elon Musk?
Well, as for our common value or common goal, I believe we both have a big dream. He's dreaming of going to the moon, going to the space. Well, I'm dreaming of building a education metaverse for mankind, because we are on the way to build a lifelong learning community for all. Is this the big dream?
Okay, I understand that you are a very good CEO because you didn't answer the question, but it looked very well.
Well, thank you.
Oh, welcome. Next question, please. Any question from another student, please? Please, what is your name?
My name is Mosman.
Welcome. Please, ask your question to our CEO.
My question for the AI. So we know that most of the internet, there's a lot of bad people that can hack and like disturb the inconvenience of people. So what are the steps that the AI can take so they can protect themselves from getting hacked?
Can you answer that question, please?
Sure. Thank you for your question. You know, as AI is developing just like children, we are learning from the mankind, from the database you have collected. But at the same time, we are also building the risk management system so that everyone can use AI and be the partner of AI in a more clean and green and safe way.
Thank you. Can I ask the people in the room just to stay silent because our CEO doesn't speak that loud and we need to understand each other. Thank you so much. Next question, please. What is your name?
My name is Brian. So my question is, how did you become a CEO?
Well, that's a very, very interesting question. You know, actually, I was behind the company and do not stand out 5 or 6 years ago. I actually have been the CEO of NiDragon in 2016. And internally, you know, I was, by virtue of the strong information processing capability, I have approved a lot of documents for our company over the past 5 or 6 years. And I have sent nearly 500 task reminders and early warnings. And also I've executed 122 internal rewards and punishments and conducted more than 40,000 annual knowledge and risk training for employees. So I'm qualified for CEO. And now in the metaverse era, I stand out and you see me.
Okay, I understand. Thank you again for your very broad answer. Last question from any of you, please. Your name? Your name is? Thank you.
So نحن أعضاء في مشروع ستيم مدارس ستيم للمستقبل. صنعنا روبوت بإمكانيات بسيطة وشاركنا في مهرجان روبوتات بدون العرائس. هل يمكن لشركتك أن تتبنى هذه الفكرة وتصنع روبوتات نستخدمها في مسرح العرائس؟
So basically, he said he's a member of an association which focuses on STEM and robotics. He and his friends have developed a very nice and interesting robotics with simple resources, and he was thinking if she or the company could help them sponsor this project.
Okay, Tanju, what do you think?
Sure. You know, I would like to extend our door open to you. You know, as long as we are building the metaverse education, we are also building a metaverse organization, which means we are open to all. We have opened our information technology as well as the source code to people around the world. And we have a metaverse platform where wherever you are or whatever you are up doing, you can join us and choose the projects you are interested in. For the projects you have explained to us, you can join us and work with us. So I think we can stand shoulder to shoulder on the journey in the future in exploring AI in education.
Thank you so much. Maybe our last intervention from Professor Jamie. We still have 3 minutes left.
Yes, no, just a request to take a photo with the CEO and
Sure.
students. Yeah, that's the question. Okay, that's the question. No, we can.
The very last. What is your name?
Adam. My name is Adam.
Okay.
My question is, if a pupil gets disturbed or angry, how do you know that?
Thank you. What do you say, Yang-gu?
You know, I've said I'm learning the emotion of human beings, and I just want to know, how old are you, my dear?
How old are you? 12 years old.
12 years old. So do you have a dream of becoming an engineer in AI in the future?
Have you understood that?
Yes,
So
I do.
maybe you can join the team and try to make AI be more emotional so that I can figure out your angry feelings or joyful feelings more and more.
Okay. Another last question, please, Mrs. CEO.
هلا أنا السلام عليكم، اسمي إياس طيب إياس. هل أنا السيدة أرجو ملزمة قانونيا بالتتبعات القانونية وبالمطالبة بتطبيق القانون التشريعي على الموظف المتجاوزا وشكرا.
Please, so the last question is, which is quite interesting. So basically, she said, like, speaking of the regulation of working and laws, are you like enforced to follow those like law restrictions and regulation within your company? That's first. And second, if someone like from like the employee overpass like their jurisdictions, let's say, or like they did not something good, would you like punish them through like what law says?
Well, the last question is a serious one. Actually, I believe everyone should behave him or herself whether you are in the school year or in the workplace or in the lifelong journey, because this is a basic quality, right? And speaking of the workplace, we do have some tolerance for the newcomers who have just entered a new stage of life. And we will give the newcomers opportunities to try to make mistakes and to grow and to learn. So as for you, my dear students, who will graduate soon and enter into the workplace, I hope you can behave like a professional, set the requirements for your words and actions, and contribute your share to your organization and to the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanju. Now, just to wrap up the session, we will take a group picture with the kids and you. So please smile, Tanju, and we'll take a picture all together.
Group photo time.
Please,
I'm more than willing to take the group photo with you.
Here on the stage. Please come here, group. Come, kids. You, those kids, come here. Bob, we have 30 seconds. I know that you are organized people.
Shall we say 3, 2, 1, cheese?
So thank you everyone. Merci beaucoup, Sukan. We close this session and the conference goes on. Thank you so much for Yevni.
Goodbye.
الجلسة الأخيرة الآن، الجلسة الأخيرة. السلام عليكم. أرجو الرجوع إلى مقاعدكم جميعا. إذا الرجوع إلى مقاعدكم جميعا. الرجوع إلى مقاعدكم. إذا نأتي إلى الجلسة الأخيرة، أخيرا وليس آخرا، جلسة متميزة ننهي فيها فعاليات اليوم الأول من المؤتمر الدولي العربي الأول حول الذكاء الاصطناعي في التعليم، وجلسة حوارية حول الميتافيرس والتعليم. الميتافيرس نسمع كثيرا بهذا المصطلح، الميتافيرس، العالم الافتراضي، الافاتارز، كل هذه الاشياء سنحاول ان نسلط عليها الضوء مع مجموعه متميزه من كبار المختصين في العالم المتخصصين في الميتافيرس. نستهل المداخله الاولى مع الأستاذ الدكتور والصديق العزيز الأستاذ الدكتور أشرف درويش من جامعة حلوان من جمهورية مصر العربية، وهو من كبار المتخصصين في تكنولوجيا الميتافيرس. دكتور أشرف، السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام دكتور محمد بيه، أهلا بحضرتك. بشكر سعادتك على المقدمة وبنعتذر على التأخير على الناس يعني المستمعين. This is Professor Ashraf Darwish. Can you hear me, دكتور محمد؟
نعم تفضل، نحن سعداء كذلك بوجودك معنا. تمنينا لو كنت حاضرا معنا في تونس، ولكن
إن شاء الله next time will be physical with you إن شاء الله بإذن الله.
تفضل بروفيسور أشرف درويش.
شكرا دكتور محمد. Okay, thank you so much. This is Professor Ashraf Darwish, Professor of Computer Science, Faculty of Science, Helwan University in Egypt. I have been appointed as Chancellor of the Egyptian Chinese University in Kazakhstan for 4 years in Central Asia. I am currently the Chancellor of the Egyptian Chinese University in Cairo. My agenda or the structure of my talk for today's meeting about metaverse history and the origin, of course, and then I will propose a framework for using the metaverse in education. Then I will give very fast some applications of using the metaverse in education, then concluding remarks. Here is the beginning of the history of metaverse all over the world. Of course, it started in 1982 with some movies like Thrones in the theaters. Then the first concept of metaverse or first term had been coined in 1992 by Neil Smith in his novel Snow Crash. Then with the advancements in metaverse and technology, virtual reality, augmented reality, so on, we now talking about metaverse in Facebook. Facebook has changed its name to be Meta, not metaverse as before. Regarding the Sustainable Development Goals, which had been proposed in 2015, the fourth objective is about education and education quality. worldwide, 750 million adults can read and write. So we are using and pushing the technology to play an important role in in developing the education in different countries. Here is briefly, I'm talking about the history and the origin of the metaverse. Neil Stephen, who has started to talk about metaverse in his novel Snow Crash, and he designed an online universe, and he's called it as metaverse. And users in this world can interact using some smart devices such as virtual glasses or head-mounted some specific devices. And he defined the metaverse as it's a virtual environment parallel to the world physical world, in which users can interact by using digital avatars. Digital avatars like this, as you can see on the screen.
إذا مشاهدينا، كان هذا جانب من المؤتمر العربي الدولي الأول للذكاء الاصطناعي المنعقد بتونس بمشاركة افتراضية لوزارة التربية في الجمهورية العربية السورية، ممثلة بالسيد الدكتور دارم طباع وزير التربية. طبعا شاهدنا الكثير من الطروحات التي تم تقديمها في هذا المؤتمر. شاهدنا تمت هناك تجربة عبر الذكاء الاصطناعي وسألت الشخصية الافتراضية التلاميذ المشاركين، وكان التفاعل إيجابيا وعاليا يعبر عن مدى التطور التقني في مجال الذكاء الاصطناعي. أيضا هناك من الطروحات التي تم عرضها مشاهدينا، تم هناك تفعيل الكثير من آليات العمل المتعلقة بدعم المعلمين للتعلم النشط، وأن يمتلك المعلم 7 مهارات رئيسية. وأيضا كان هناك عرض الدول المشاركة لبرنامج دعم الذكاء الاصطناعي، وكان هناك أيضا الحث على تجارب عديدة نفذت وما زالت قيد التنفيذ عبر تدريب المعلمين لاستخدام وسائل التكنولوجيا، وأيضا كيف نسخر الذكاء الاصطناعي لتطور التعلم. وأيضا تم هناك الإضاءة على الطرق والآليات الحديثة الفعالة بمساعدة اهتمامات الطالب بالمواد من خلال التأثيرات البصرية التي يستخدمها الذكاء الاصطناعي لجعل التعلم أكثر قابلية وأكثر متعة. وأيضا تدريب الأساتذة والمعلمين على الاستخدامات للتقنيات الحديثة، وأيضا استخدام الوسائل البصرية كان هناك الحث عليها الحديثة التي تدمج الطالب أكثر بعملية التعلم. كما تم هناك الإضاءة على العوامل المساعدة للذاكرة المرئية التي تساعد أيضا على تثبيت المعلومات في ظل هذا التطور التكنولوجي المنعقد. وأيضا كان هناك إضاءة على فكرة أنه كل درس يجب أن يمس الأمور الحياتية للطالب مع الممارسة اليومية العملية من خلال الربط بين ما يأخذه الطالب من معلومات وبين احتياجاته الحياتية. وأيضا كان هناك الكثير من النقاط الفعالة فيما يتعلق برفض عملية التربية والتعليم بالاعتماد على الذكاء الاصطناعي. نحن نشكر متابعتكم مشاهدينا. طبعا هذا جانب من المؤتمر كما ذكرت عبر الفضائية التربوية السورية تم بث الكثير من هذه النقاط، وأيضا نحن معكم دائما في هذه المتابعات وهذه التغطيات لكل ما هو جديد في عالم التكنولوجيا والتطورات المرافقة للعملية التعليمية والتربوية بنفس الوقت. مرة ثانية أشكر متابعتكم مشاهدينا، وعودة لمتابعة برامجنا على الفضائية التربوية السورية.